As we turn our attention to A of this letter model, one of the first things that people jump to is the word activities. And while it's true, there is a little bit deeper nuance that I'd like to explore with you, and it's based on acknowledge and align. Now, with this, you're going to take a look at the evidence of your experience. That's where we're really going to end up. But there's some thoughts I want to share along the way. This knowledge, skills, attitudes that you have grown through your career, they are the grounding that's available to you in your living legacy life, in your legacy after 60 life. So yes, it grounds you and it acknowledges what you've done. It aligns with the possibilities of what can happen because of what has taken place from your past. Now, the great thing to remember is that you have decades of living, doing great things, probably stumbling a little bit along the way, stubbing your toe. Probably there's a couple of persons you'd probably like to meet again and just say, hey, let's have a conversation of coffee and clear the air. And that's okay. Now, you may not get an opportunity to do that, but from that learning, you can possibly help others who may be experiencing that at this point in time. So really what's happening here is don't rush into what's next. Take an opportunity to acknowledge and align this past, this evidence that you have available to you. So to acknowledge then is to name and see the proof of your growth. It's not about being perfect. It's not about being proud. It's just about, okay, this is where I am at this point in time. I acknowledge it. To align means to take a look at what's there and say, I'm going to use this. This is going to be helpful, but I'm going to let that go. Because one of the great things to remember is everything that you've gone through doesn't mean it still has to be brought forward. Because really what's here is to not get caught up in remembering everything. It's about re-engaging with what you believe is of great use or helpfulness as you move forward. So the question that pops up is, what do I already know that supports where I want to go next? Yes, where do I want to go next? And what is it that I know, my skills, my attitudes that I can bring with me to continue this story of living my life, living my legacy life? One of the great phrases I've found so far is to turn the internal library into light. I thought that was a beautiful way in which to take a look at this, align and acknowledge. So at the core of this is you're looking for the patterns, the meaningful patterns that you recognize, the stories, the contributions, the projects that you can continue moving forward. And as we learn a little bit later, linking that up with the possible audience that could benefit from it. And one of the core underpinnings here is stop underestimating your worth. I went through that. Am I worth it? Do I have something really to share? I went through all of that internal conversation. Listened to a couple of people along the way who may not have said the best things to me as I live my life. Some of the mistakes I made in my business. That's okay. It's just, now I just bring who I am forward, patterning, recognizing, drawing meaning that I bring out through my legacy. I encourage the same thing for you. And don't escape or think or want to ask the question, does my experience matter? It matters. Because from an intergenerational point of view, there are many who are younger who could benefit from you being an older and who is nurtured your own understanding. And by going through A to B to C, you will find what is of great use and helpfulness. I've mentioned that already. One of the other great things is you're not starting over. You're starting with. Isn't that great? You're not starting over, you're starting with. This is what I've got to work with. This is what I'm going to share. And so every skill, story, scar has meaning here. Choose, decide which ones you want to share. Herein, movement becomes natural. And move forward with steadiness, not about surviving. It's easy to slip into other ways in which to look at this life. But step into it with the confidence, the courage, the commitment to help, to be of service, to encourage, to educate, whatever verb you want to put in here. Yes, the core here is confidence, but it's your readiness to take the action. And that's where this A will end up in B for behaviors. But before we get there, just let me add a little bit more. One of the most important activities that you can take up now for this acknowledgement and alignment is what I call a reflective pause and gather your evidence of your knowledge, skills, and attitude. Now, you've done it along the way because if you've written a resume, you've had to do something similar. So one of the things you could go back, can you find any of those resumes? Because they'll give you some clues. But also dig into what happened each year, what happened in a job, whatever it might be. Just go look at the evidence. Gather all of it together. Do some action, reflection, action, and just gather it all together. I think that you'll find it to be most amazing activity, and give yourself some time to do that. Really dig in there. And yeah, find the stumbles, find the stubbed toes, all right? Just gather it all together. Because another way to look at this evidence that you've gathered is it's like a legacy toolkit. It's where you can dig in and figure out what you want to work with, because you know that phrasing, hammer and nails. Well, what you're looking for is a full toolkit, and then learning what tools are going to be of great use, what tips, tools, techniques are going to be of use to others. Because the core here is finding that decisive actions that you want to take. And that's the beauty as we move into the B, and B is about behave into belief and being able to nurture your beliefs and the behaviors that you want to take on. So that's what's going to follow with the B. So with that, videos that are popping up now are going to continue your learning in the series, and also the shorts, the reference to the shorts. You can find lots of really great ideas there as well that can spark you with your legacy. So with that, comments below help us learn together, and always and in all ways, take care.